Hey guys, welcome back to my tiny kitchen. We're traveling and I'm so excited because we have new products for Epicure and they are going to launch on September 15th. Now, I'm not going to promise you that I'm going to be around on September 15th because we are getting ready to immerse ourselves into a national park where I am sure we will not have cell coverage. So I'm privy to what's coming though, and I'm going to just give you a few hints, but I am going to encourage you to check out Epicure's website, and I will post my link below and give you a reminder on the 15th because I'll schedule that post for you to go look at the website at the new products. But today I'm going to share a new product with you, and it's super secret, so don't tell anybody, okay? Okay. African sweet potato stew. Now, my husband is from South Africa, and this is a curry. And if you like curry, or if you've never tried curry, I'm going to highly encourage you to try this. And my husband also hates sweet potatoes, so I'm not using sweet potatoes in this. I cut up a whole chicken, and I marinated that in the mango curry and the piri piri seasoning with the Butcher Block salt blend. And I put that in the freezer. And then when we got to camp today, I just took it out of the freezer, put it in a pan, and I have it just simmering on the stovetop right now, just getting kind of defrosted. But I'm going to just go ahead and start throwing stuff in here, and then I'm going to just let it simmer in the oven all afternoon until it falls off the bone, and it's going to be delicious. That's what we're going to do. So let me flip the camera around here, and I will show you what this looks like. Okay guys, so I've got my chicken simmering here away nicely. And like I said, it was frozen, so I just put the whole thing in here frozen. And when I cook, when I camp, I try to do quick, simple, easy meals, just like at home. So this is definitely something that you can do at home. And this would also be a great one to throw in your crock pot as a crock pot meal. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to cook all this extra broth down, and then I'm just going to start throwing stuff in here, but I'm going to show you what's in the ingredients first. So this is the African sweet potato stew that's coming on September 15th. Now, the original recipe says to peel and cut 2 large sweet potatoes into small cubes, about 4 cups, and then microwave that in your multi-purpose steamer, covered for 6 minutes. And then in a wok or a skillet, you can use a regular skillet, cook a ½ pound of ground turkey over medium-high heat, stirring the seasoning mix with a can of diced tomatoes and light coconut milk, and then add water or broth and cook for 5 minutes. And then you stir in your cooked sweet potatoes, a ½ cup of peanut butter or an alternative butter, and cook it for 2 minutes. And then if you're vegan, there's a vegan option to replace the meat with a can of black beans. Now, I thought it sounded good, but my husband doesn't eat sweet potatoes, so I just looked at the ingredients, which are onion, garlic, spices, inactive nutritional yeast, chives, sea salt, cayenne, and mustard. It's a curry sauce. Ladies, gents, curry's simple. Throw it in a pan, let it simmer. It doesn't matter what you put in there. The first curry I ever had like several different kinds of meat and hard-boiled eggs. So, I mean, it doesn't matter what. Oh my gosh, can you see in there? Look at that. It's gorgeous. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and put this in all over the chicken. Get it down in the sauce and the juice there in the bottom. I'm going to turn my heat down here. In fact, I'm just going to turn it off because I'm going to put this in the oven and it's just going to simmer all afternoon. Now, I don't want a ton of liquid in there, so I'm adding, instead of 28 ounces of tomatoes, I'm just going to do one regular size can. It was about that time I realized I don't have my coconut milk. Okay guys, I'm pivoting. I bought coconut milk, but it somehow did not get packed. And I've already got this started, so I can't just not finish it. But the good old Googles says I can use sour cream or any kind of other oat milk, hemp milk, nut milk. Probably use regular milk too. but it did say I could use Greek yogurt. So I've got just a can of crushed tomatoes here. I'm going to just pour those over the chicken parts. Don't be afraid to substitute, and Google is your friend. I'm telling you. Totally okay. I am also going to add some chicken broth. So I'm just going to pour a little bit of this broth in here, and that's going to help rehydrate all of the spices that are in the packet. That's probably enough. Maybe a cup. And since I don't have the coconut milk, it's also going to make up for some of that liquid that I don't have. Now, I've got all of that in there. I'm going to just make sure that everything is kind of evenly dispersed over the chicken so that it can flavor it. And then I'm going to put a lid on this pan. Initially, I wanted to put it in the Dutch oven and do it real African style, over the Dutch oven, or in a Dutch oven over an open fire. But the Dutch oven didn't get packed either. It's home with the coconut milk. So pivot, guys, just pivot. It's okay. That's what we've been doing through this whole COVID thing, is pivoting, right? Okay, I think it looks amazing already. So let me grab my lid, and I'm going to stick this right back in the oven. We're just going to simmer this in the oven, low temp, about 300 degrees. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some fingerling potatoes. The bigger ones I cut up into chunks, but I'm leaving the smaller ones whole. And I'm just going to tuck those in around the chicken parts so that the potatoes will soften along with the chicken as it cooks. Oh, you guys, it smells so good. I did add a little bit more chicken broth to this too, so probably a cup and a quarter in there total. I don't want to cover the chicken, but I want it pretty well submerged. And then I'm just going to go ahead and tuck my little potatoes in here. And we're going to add green beans and carrots to this later. I just don't want them to completely disintegrate. And they will soak up that amazing flavor too. And that will also help to thicken the sauce a little bit. Oh, I just want to taste this. Oh yeah. It's warm, has a little heat. The heat is probably from the piri-piri. There is cayenne in here though too, so there's probably a little heat from that as well. Very tasty. That's going to be super, super yummy. The potatoes will also soak up some of the heat, so there's a good tip for you. If something's too hot, throw some potatoes in it and that'll soak up some of the heat for you. But this is an amazing curry. If you like curry, you guys are going to love this. Okay, back in the oven with this guy. Hey guys, I was going to show you another really great tip. First of all, check out my freezer. Yeah, we are not going to starve on this trip. I basically played Tetris in here. But let me show you, first of all, here's another great idea. Instead of trying to take fresh herbs, use these lightly dried ones, and they store in the freezer really well. But these are great for traveling. Now, look at this. Buy your vegetables frozen, and then break down the packages into individual serving sizes and put them in vacuum seal bags. And look how much less space it takes up. And then you don't have open bags of stuff that get frostbitten because these freezers are so rough. Now, I'm talking about doing this for traveling, but guys, this works great in your freezer at home too. It'll take up way less space in your freezer at home doing this. Okay, so there's your tip for the day. Okay, so tonight I am using frozen carrots and frozen green beans. Again, when we're traveling like this, I can't buy the fresh stuff. I've got to do things that are going to last on the road, and use what you have. Like, you could put squash in here. You could put, zucchini, butternut squash if you don't have sweet potatoes, acorn squash if you like that. If you don't like squash, don't use squash. Like, I put red potatoes in here instead of sweet potatoes. Totally fine. Use what you have. I am going to put a tiny bit more chicken broth in here, and then I'm going to put it back in the oven and let that continue to cook down for at least another half an hour, 40 minutes or so. There you go, guys. There's my African chicken stew. Man, I can't wait to dig into this. Okay, guys, this is done. I know it is, and I am going to mix in the Greek yogurt now. I'm just going to put in maybe a heavy 1/4 cup, just enough to give it a little bit of creaminess. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and then I'll show you what that looks like. Look at that. That is amazing. Oh my goodness. I can't even right now. So I took a whisk. I took all my chicken out, and then I took a whisk, and I whisked in the yogurt. Don't get me wrong. You definitely want to use coconut milk with this. The yogurt I used in a pinch because I did not have the coconut milk. The coconut is going to give it that true authentic flavor, but I'm telling you, it's a good sub when you don't have what you need, Greek yogurt or sour cream. Sour cream would have worked too, but I didn't bring any with me on this trip. So I'm going to try this. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, I got a piece of chicken cooling over here too. Let me try this chicken. Oh my goodness. Yeah. That's the stuff. So let me tell you a little story. So when I went to South Africa with Ryan, because my husband, I mentioned he's from South Africa, my mother and father-in-law took us to Cape Town to visit a dear friend of theirs. His name is Alvan Collison, and if you look him up online, you'll find all sorts of stuff about him. He's famous for singing, and he's a wonderful entertainer. And we went to visit him at his house in Cape Town, and he made for us curry, authentic curry, and I'd never had it before. And I was a little worried because I figured it would be really hot. And I said to him, Alvan, is your curry really spicy? And he said, oh my dear, I make my curry like I make love, with passion. It was the hottest thing I've ever put in my mouth, and I couldn't get enough of it. It was amazing. And I have to tell you, this is very similar. This reminds me of that. I would tell you, if you don't like hot stuff, don't use the piri-piri seasoning in it when you make it. But if you like hot, use the piri-piri, then add the African sweet potato stew seasoning packet, because it's got more hot stuff in it. I do not put peanut butter in it. I cannot. I just can't. That just does not sound good to me. I don't like peanuts in my savory food, so I left the peanut butter out. I don't think it needs it. It's really, really yummy without it. You could do this with any meat. You could just make a vegetable curry. This is really, really good. I'm totally going to be stocking up on that, because this is something that I will definitely make again, and I will play with different things. Maybe I'll try the peanut butter. I don't know. I don't think I can get behind the peanut butter. Anyway, I'm going to go serve my family dinner, and we have another long day of driving ahead tomorrow. So we're kind of looking maybe the Badlands. So stay tuned. You'll get to see more sights and more yummy dishes from the road. Remember, there's always room for you at my table. I'd love it if you'd host a party or join my team. I'd love to have some more team members. Okay, guys, talk to you later. Bye.